You know, it's not that anyone would be inherently against a new Tomb Raider animated series, it's that we're against one in 2024. Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idol, and yeah, I thought articles like these were sort of left behind after, 2020, give or take. Like, there's this big push for pro-feminist news articles, especially in nerd culture, like from Gamergate to about COVID, and then you really don't see them near as often anymore, at least not from the mainstream. You still see them from places like the Mary Sue, but yeah, nope, from the Guardian, we don't quite have it out of our system yet. Goodbye cartoon breasts, hello sweat stains, the feminist reinvention of the Tomb Raider. Even if this were to be a good show, and don't get me wrong, it's not gonna be, but even if this were to be a good show, it is articles like these that would just turn people away from it by the nature of their very existence, because that's not what actual Tomb Raider fans want. Male or female, young or old, if you grew up playing real Tomb Raider, you don't care about the feministization, or whatever the word would be, of Lara Croft. You care about the games being respected and seeing them translated to a different medium, and that's certainly not what we get here. So we're going to get into this article before we do hit that subscribe button. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day, and hot on the heels of the Oasis reunion comes news of the return of another 90s icon, Lara Croft. She bounced back to our screens with a new animated series, still sporting that holy triumvirate of classic ponytail, backpack, and combat boots. From the get-go, she's performing seemingly impossible feats in the name of archaeology. She outswims a ravenous crocodile and uses her signature blend of parkour and gymnastics to avoid a pit of sharp spikes. But this isn't the Tomb Raider star quite as you might remember her. Well, god damn it, that last sentence sort of ruins it, because thus far, it sounded pretty good. It sounded like old school Tomb Raider, what we want, what we crave, something that seems lost to us. And look, here's the dealio. I get that this show is not probably made for me. I'm not the target demographic. But don't you think it should be, as somebody that, grew up playing these games in the 90s, along with a myriad of others? Again, giving the customer what they want. They even open this article with talking about Oasis, 90s nostalgia, being, a key player in, frankly, a lot of these revivals and reboots and reimaginings. So, if you're going to go ahead and drip feed, us individuals that grew up with this stuff, shouldn't you do it, I don't know, in a way that would make us excited? Because there's no hype for this. Like, not even really from, the ravenous feminist side of X have I seen any hype for this show. So I know we ask this all the time, but truly, who is this for? The eponymous star in Netflix Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft, voiced by Agent Carter's Hayley Atwell, looks different to how she appeared in the original games. Her thighs are now strong enough to realistically run, climb, stomp, and swim, and do the other myriad things Laura has to do on a daily basis, while her waist is more realistically proportioned. Get used to the word realistically. They use it a bunch in this article. Her shoulders are broader. You say that like it's a good thing. Yes, you've turned Lara into a man that wears lipstick. That's fine, but just say that instead of giving us 3 sentences of manly features while still trying to claim that Lara's a girl. Her arms more defined, biceps, triceps, and flexors, oh my, and these impossibly perky and oh so pixelated breasts have been deflated to a size that fits somewhere within the realms of reason. Again, just taking the femininity away from a character that was literally glorified by women. I remember back in the day, it wasn't just sweaty, greasy, basement nerdy dudes who liked the Lara. There was a lot of women too, but sure, yeah, they remove the femininity. This article is hilarious because, again, it speaks to a time in journalism when that, hashtag Me Too movement and the feminist movement was so heavily pushed, and there was just this call to, the call to remove the feminization was actually so much more vocal back then. Like, they wanted to defeminize anything and everything because that femininity was, towards the male gaze or whatever it was. Now, they don't even talk about it. They just do it in the realms of video games, movies, animation. Again, until you get the sporadic article from the mainstream like this one, that feels the need to remind you that we really haven't made any progress since 2015. Essentially, she no longer looks like a strong wind would knock her over. It's part of a reimagining dangerous word right there, that feels like a big feminist act, something many critics have been clamoring about ever since her first outing in 1996. If critics were clamoring for it, then why, when she debuted in 96, and for the subsequent games after, was she lauded by fans alike? Why did these games go on and become household names? Why did they sell stupid amounts of copies? Why did Lara Croft get become part of the cultural zeitgeist, not of just of gaming, but of strong female characters in general, right up there with Ellen Ripley and Sarah Connor? Probably because she was fine as is, if I had to hazard a guess. The most influential female protagonist of her genre, Lara defined what women can and can't do in the world of video gaming. Compared to the burly men shooting guns, she had a real appeal, says her designer Toby Gard, who originally intended to be a guy in some tombs before he decided to go in another direction, a direction that many of us young gamers in the 90s the world over thank you for, Toby. Excellent call. She was mysterious and had a danger about her. This gave her a real difference to other female game characters that were basically sex objects. Also, I was very keen to get Lara to animate properly, which no one else at the time was doing. This made her move slowly, but look realistic, which helped players empathize with her. And I mean, yeah, PS1 graphically, she looked great. She really did. Like, I don't know how many of y'all remember the PS1. Some of them games were pretty damn hit or miss, but she looked good. Realistic, of course, is in the eye of the beholder. This snarky way that this is written is so, again, disingenuous because, I don't know who wrote this article. I don't even know if this is a dude or a chick. Let's see. Does it say right here? Does later? No, I'm not seeing. Okay, Kaylee Dre. There we go. Of course, this was written by a woman, and I can guarantee you it was a woman who was not playing video games in the 90s. Just let's all be on the same page. Kaylee Ray here isn't a nerd. She isn't a gamer. She probably only know about Lara Croft, backhanded, offhandedly because she was reading the Guinness Book of World Records 2008 video game edition and saw that, Lara Croft had the record for, biggest tits in the game. I don't know. I'm just fucking making shit up at this point. Realistic, of course, is in the eye of the beholder. For her adrenaline exploits, Lara wore a tight tank and teeny shorts, all the better to accentuate those gravity-defying breasts, but also her slender waist, arms, and legs. She moved with the grace of a ballerina. Oh, so you mean Lara was the peak femininity, and you, as somebody who wants to destroy that and gaslight individuals without using the mainstream media to do it, you are so turned off by the fact that this badass bitch could have the grace of a ballerina and still have big titties. Just tell us you're ugly. I haven't looked at what you look like. I've not pulled up a photo of you, but just tell us you're ugly. Frankly, I don't even know if you're a real woman. You could be one of those dudes that cosplays women, and your name isn't really Kaylee. It's like Jason or something. Opting for unnecessary handstands and swallow dives whenever she could, and spoke with a clipped, confident cadence of a BBC newsreader, even if she was just uttering a stern no to gamers attempting to force her through a locked door. Hey, she had agency. There's that snark again, once again proving you do not care about the legacy of this character. You do not care about what Lara Croft stands for, what she did for gaming culture, male, female, again, it doesn't matter. You're a tourist, and you're writing this article. Anyone who does, this, to anyone who was there, to anyone that to this day is still a legitimate gamer, they read this, and of course it comes off as a tourist. Ironically enough, your outlet is called The Guardian, but here we are, actual nerds, trying to guard the things we love from morons like you that we were so nice to for the last God knows how many years, that we just allowed you to come in and play with our toys, and look what you're doing with them now. You are destroying them, you're smashing them, you are Sid from Toy Story while trying to make us look like the bad guy. It is absolutely insane. We're gonna skip through a bit of this because, I'm gonna be real, I don't care to give you the whole of it, but there is some stuff that absolutely jumps out to me. From China to Istanbul, the Paris catacombs to the Kunlun Mountains, the globe-trotting of Netflix Lara has all the appeal of her previous incarnations. Her past is, she admits, complicated, which is why she's a little more vulnerable and a lot more self-destructive than we've seen her before. She wears comfortable cargo pants and high-neck tank tops when the occasion calls for it, with visible sweat stains, no less.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Even to women, this isn't gonna be appealing. Give me a woman, a normal, well-adjusted woman, not one of these, Twitter freaks with multicolored hair, that's gonna be watching this animation and be like, ooh, boob sweat. I can relate. No. When you're watching these animations that are beyond reality, they are fantasy, you want to be transported to a world that is not your own, something completely different, escapism. And women do want that as well. It's not just a male trait. It is absolutely insane. They're like, oh, she admits her life is more complicated. Great, because that's what we were playing the original Tomb Raider games for, a complicated Lara Croft. No, we wanted to raid tombs and shoot some dinosaurs. She enjoys an unexpectedly ambiguous relationship with a person from her past. She is, to quote her pal Jonah, a crazy bastard in a backpack, is fearless and intent not just raiding tombs, but returning treasures to their rightful homes too. Well, you fucked up! That's also not in character for Lara Croft! This Lara is dealing with a messy past. This Lara smells like a professional hiker, gets battered and bruised, and is weighed down by a lot of emotional baggage.
That's stupid! You're stupid! Stop being stupid!
What about any of this sounds appealing? Like, you've not told us. Guys, I'm at a loss. I'm done. Like we'll read this final paragraph, but I'm getting cancer as it is. This Lara isn't perfect by any means, but her imperfections feel revolutionary when you compare them to her original blueprints, because unleashed from her controller, she's allowed to move through her story on her own terms. She is the undisputed custodian of her own complicated life at long last, all thanks to her new TV incarnation. No, what you've just described is not Tomb Raider. What you've described is a bastardization. It is somebody taking the Tomb Raider name, thinking, you know what, we're going to cash in on this. We know that people are going to watch it. We know people are going to pay money for it, because this is a large IP, and I'm just so tired of it. So exhausted. Like, a Tomb Raider animated series could be awesome. It truly could. Devil May Cry had an animated series in 2008, 2009, right around then, and it was fantastic. In fact, it was so good, that's why I am worried about the new up-and-coming version. Sonic the Hedgehog has had multiple animated versions, some far better than others. The point is, we've got Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest had a CGI film on Netflix a couple years ago that was so good. Dragon Quest, Your Story. There's something about these Japanese properties that when they're adapted from game to animation, they're still loved and cared for and respected. But we can't do that in the West. We can't have nice things in the West. Nobody that loves Tomb Raider, nobody that even just enjoys Tomb Raider or fondly and nostalgically remembers it, will watch this show. Or if they do, they're going to end up complaining about it on X or making YouTube videos like I'm making now. Like, this is not for the target audience that actually grew up or played Tomb Raider. Which is wild to me, because How to Kill a Show 101, okay, so you're going to get one season on Netflix, gonna get canceled. You might get two if you're lucky, because in a lot of instances, animation will get 2 seasons off the rip just because, you know, the way, the cost to produce it, the budget, things like that. So you'll get 1, maybe 2 seasons, it'll be canceled, and then you'll write all these articles about why men didn't show up to support the show. When it's not a man problem, it's a fan problem. And the problem is you don't listen to fans. But this is all really old news, and I just thought that the way this article was written was so intrinsically 2018, I had to share it with you guys. But these are just my opinions. Let me know yours in the comments down below, or let me know on X, where you can find me at Bolt the Word. And please do subscribe. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day. Not always about what's going on with, you know, Netflix or video games, anime, movies, music, Magic the Gathering, you name it. Check me out on Instagram at wordsofparadise_Leon, and become a member for $4.99 a month. You can join the Discord, choose the articles I go over on a day-to-day basis, choose the videos I react to on my Friday night live streams, and of course, get involved with over 130 other vital idols. We are a bright, beautiful, glowing, vibrant community that cannot wait to grow even further, because we do care about diversity, but only one kind of diversity of thought. That's interesting to you. Join the Discord, hit subscribe, and until next time, it is all here in the Nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise.